Welcome to MBICC classes. Learn today and lead tomorrow.
Good morning, dear students. Today I'm here. This is going to be my first video, and in my first video, I'm going to explain the concept of anodizing, okay, which is a really important or difficult concept in metal non-metal chapter of class 10 books. Now, first, before anodizing, we have to understand what is anodizing, what exactly happens in that, what is the role of electrolysis in that, and what is electrolysis. Second thing, how anodizing prevents corrosion. Is anodizing only for aluminum or something else? Everything I'm going to discuss in this video. And the last thing is, at the end of this video, I'll give a bonus tip. Really, that will surprise you. Uh, let's get into the video, let's get into the concept. The thing is, whenever we talk about anodizing, the one thing or one metal comes to our mind, that is aluminium. But to your information, to your surprise, I must tell you that aluminium is not the only metal which is eligible to be anodized. Rather, magnesium, titanium, can be anodized, but as aluminium is popularly used or as aluminium is widely used, so anodizing is referred to or anodizing is referred to aluminium. Otherwise other metals can also be anodized, okay. First concept. Second thing is how anodizing prevents corrosion. Before that, I must tell you about the electrolysis process. In electrolysis process, what happens? Now, as the name electrolysis stands there, electrolysis refers to the passing of electron. Passing of electron. Passing of electron means electricity. That means passing of electricity. When we pass the electricity, then this is called electrolysis. Now the question is like how to pass electricity and where to pass electricity. Now there is a solution called electrolyte solution, like which carries the electricity to complete the circuit. That means, as you can see here is the battery in my hand. In battery there are two ends, one is positive, another is negative, and these ends are called electrode. This positive end is called positive electrode, negative end is called negative electrode. But in science there is a scientific term that is called anode, another is called cathode. Got it? Now the concept is, when we just pass the electricity, we have to keep one thing in mind, that circuit is complete. So whatever we want to do, be it lightening a light, be it running a electrical equipment, it doesn't matter. First of all, our circuit must be complete. Got it? To complete, here is the beaker, and in beaker you can see there is a solution. This solution is sulfuric acid, and the two rods you can see in the beaker, that these two rods are two sides of the battery. That means we can say two sides of the battery are connected, these two rods. One rod is connected to the positive side. As I said earlier, that positive side is called anode. That means the rod connected with the positive side is called anode, and the rod is connected with the negative side is called cathode. Got it? Yeah. Simple. To complete the circuit, electricity must flow through the sulfuric acid. I mean through the solution, which is called electrolytes. Got it? As this is process of electrolysis, the one which carries electricity, that the solution which is used to carry the electricity between two electrodes, that is called electrolyte. Here sulfuric acid is the electrolyte, okay. As we know, electricity moves from negative end to positive end. Here, when electricity moves from negative end to positive end, so what happens here? Electricity must have to go through, I mean the flow through, pass through sulfuric acid. Okay? And when it passes through sulfuric acid, the electrolysis happens. In that, what happens? Now, in that, oxygen, as you can see, oxygen is evolved. as oxygen is evolved, oxygen is non-metal. We everybody knows it. If if you know the ions, about the ions, ion is nothing here. Whenever we listen about ion, we get confused. What is ion? Ion is nothing. Ion is only charge. Got it? Simple. Just take it as is as buying a chocolate from market. This concept is nothing. Ion is only a charge. Got it? And we know that from the beginning of the chapter that metals give positive ion, non-metals give negative ion. Here, when oxygen is evolved, as it is a non-metal, it gives positive negative ion. As it gives negative ion, we know same charge. Ion means charge. Once again I repeat it, that ions means charge. As it gives negative ion, it gets attracted by the positive electrode, because we know opposite charges attract each other and the same charge repel each other. The same thing, as it gets attracted by the anode, it goes to the anode. Got it? Okay. Now let's go back to the our concept. Let's go back to the previous concept. In what I said, like two electrodes, positive and negative. And here you can again see the same figure. Here the positive electrode, I mean the anode, we have to take aluminium as anode. Got it? In case of cathode, you can take any metal that is good conductor of heat. Got it? As I said, oxygen is evolved and it gets attracted by the anode, as it gives negative ion, means negative charge, but anode is positively charged. Okay. So as it gets attracted by the anode, and obviously it goes to the anode. When it goes to the anode, comes in the contact with aluminium. When it comes in the contact with the aluminium, reacts with the aluminium. When it reacts with the aluminium, forms aluminium oxide, whose formula is Al2O3, aluminium oxide. And this aluminium oxide is a layer over the aluminium. Okay, is a layer over the aluminium. As it forms a layer, that means when it comes in the conductor of any oxygen, water vapor, or acid, aluminium doesn't react with these things directly. Rather, the layer formed on the aluminium or formed over the aluminium reacts with these things. And in this way, aluminium is safe from corrosion, and this process is called anodizing. And in this, as a layer is formed over the aluminium, first thing, it prevents corrosion. I explained you why it prevents corrosion. Second thing is, because of this layer, it is easy for us to color the aluminium. Got it? I think aluminum is not the only metal. Other metals can also be anodized. Got it? But aluminum is popular. Okay. Here, as I had said you to give you a bonus tips at the end. Here the bonus tip is why sulfuric acid is used as a electrolyte solution. We can use any other things just like citric acid, tartaric acid. Why not these acids? Why only sulfuric acids? Here is the concept. I can challenge you, maximum of you, 99% of students, maximum of the students don't know this concept. Why sulfuric acid is used as electrolyte? Just because we know in the acid base reaction chapter that strong acid gives more iron. We know acid gives H plus iron, a base gives OH minus iron, but here comes strong and weak base. Weak base gives less iron, weak acid or weak base gives less iron, strong acid or strong base gives more iron. That means everybody knows that sulfuric acid is a strong acid. As it is a strong acid, H plus ion is more. When it is diluted with water, And one more thing, this is not the sulfuric acid used here, is not the concentrated sulfuric acid, rather dilute sulfuric acid. What is the difference between concentrated and dilute? Dilute means amount of water is more, is amount of acid is less. But in case of concentrated, that is opposite to that. That means amount of acid is more and amount of water is less. Here it is the dilute acid. Dilute acid. That means amount of acid less. As it dissolves in water, gives H plus ion. As it is strong acid, gives excess amount of H plus ion. More the H plus ion, more the flow of the electricity. As the electricity flows perfectly, or the process happens in the right way, that's why sulfuric acid is taken.